With the NBA recently announcing the MVP, it's left a lot of people with the question, did Jokic actually deserve the MVP? People are saying, should Shea have got it? Should Doncic have got it? Should Tatum have got it? Spoiler alert, Tatum should not have got it, alright? But a lot of people are wondering who was more deserving. And I think a very crucial piece of information to include is that since 1990, alright, in the modern era, and that's not even really that modern, but since 1990, 27 out of the 34 MVPs have been on either the top team or the second top team. And now there are some very large outliers like Russell Westbrook in 2017 and Jokic in 2022, but other than that, they're still pretty close to the top, even if they're not on the top two teams. Now with that out of the way, let's start looking into the actual stats. Jason Tatum was averaging about 27 points, 8 rebounds, and almost 5 assists in the 74 games that he played. And outside of the Celtics fan base, I haven't really heard anyone fighting for Tatum or saying he deserves it, which is good, because in the past there's been years like that when he definitely did not deserve it. And don't get me wrong, like his stats are good, right? They're good. But compared to the other candidates for MVP, he is nowhere near them, I would say. I don't think there's any argument for Tatum whatsoever. And also, Jaylen Brown is on that team with him. And, you know, there was a time in the season when people were saying Jaylen Brown was the best player on the team, not even Tatum. And if you can't be the best player on your team, you're not the MVP. I get that he's on the best team, because he is. He is on the best team. And that, like I said, that is a huge part of MVP decision, apparently. Despite that, though, he just does not really hold a candle to the rest of the candidates. Now let's look at Doncic, right? He averaged almost 34 points. Crazy. Almost 10 assists and 9 rebounds in 70 games. He played a little less games than Tatum, but his stats are so much better. And you're about to see why in a minute. I think Doncic should have got the MVP. And keep in mind, I'm a Nuggets fan. I love Jokic. I love the Nuggets. And I still think Doncic, I think this was his season. And I think he was robbed, not Shea. Now to look at Shea's stats, he averaged about 30 points, 6 assists, and 5.5 rebounds. And he was on the best team in the West. Not in the league, but in the West. So that's top 2. You would think that he'd have higher chances. And I do think that is part of why people are saying he was robbed. I really don't think it comes from his stat line. I think it comes from them being the best in the West. But you have to understand that yes, they are the best team in the West, but that's only because they have a better division record. The Nuggets have the exact same record as the Thunder, except they're just second because they did worse in their division. And if you want to compare this to Jokic's stats, he averaged 26 points, which is definitely less than Shea, right? But he averaged 12.4 rebounds. So many more than Shea did. And 9 assists. Again, so many more. What he lacks in points, he made up for in other aspects of the game. Somehow, Doncic was robbed. I don't understand. Doncic was averaging almost 8 points more than Jokic. He had a higher assist average than Jokic. And the only thing he was a little bit less than was in rebounds. But only by 2. 2 rebounds? Deciding the MVP? Are you serious? Like, this 100% came down to Doncic just not being on the best team. Not being on the top 3 team. Right? That, in my eyes, there is no other reason why he should not have this MVP right now. And the craziest thing is, he is not showing any sign of slowing down. This dude is still going. He has been improving season after season after season. I think eventually he's going to get his time. I think it should have been this season. And I just want to preface, playoff run does not count towards MVP at all. It is based on regular season, right? And all these stats are from the regular season. But I just have to say, Doncic is still in the playoffs. Jokic is not. Shea is not. I feel like he's really showing his dominance right now. And personally, I mean, they're up 2-0 on the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves. Just one of the most solid ass teams. Definitely one of the best Minnesota teams ever. You know? Like, it doesn't really matter because it's in the playoffs. But I just have to stress that this dude is a beast. I mean, I like Jokic. Of course, as a Nuggets fan, I'm glad he got it. Congrats to him. I do think that there was a better player, of course. It's kind of what the whole video is about, but it is what it is. And I really do think this Mavericks team is coming together. I think they struggled throughout the regular season a little bit. I mean, that's why they got the seeding that they got. But I really hope, and to me it seems like they found their footing, so I'm hoping that next year they're going to come out and they're going to look strong as hell. And I hope that, you know, maybe next year, if Doncic does even better, or even the same, right? I don't think anyone's going to beat what he just did. I hope he gets the MVP, because I really do think he deserves it. And let me also just say, Embiid winning it last year, Doncic also deserves it way more than Embiid ever did. I'm an Embiid hater, right? So, you know, that's its own thing. I'm also a Tatum hater. But, you know, I just want to see Doncic get the MVP that he deserves. But yeah, that's probably about it for this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate the support on the last video. It did so much better than I thought it would, and it's been crazy. It means so much. So thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, remember to like, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and thank you. I will see you in the next one.
I'ma get to mention when you see my jutsu, my name just start to mention.